Welcome back to On the Workbench. Today we're taking a look at a very humble piece of your automobile, and that is what's known as the Schrader Valve. This is the valve stem, which contains the Schrader Valve off a common tubeless automotive tire. And so this is a very basic design, actually first invented in 1891, and I believe they were used on the original Model T Ford in 1908. So there's quite a history of this, and the patent is obviously off on this. So if you look at this valve, so there's obviously the valve stem, so this goes into the tire. And then you've got the Schrader valve inside here, which we'll remove in a moment. You got some threads and a cap. Those are your basic components of the tire valve. Now at the bottom here, if you're looking at replacing these, there are two basic common diameters of the stem. One is a 0.453 inches, and the other one is 0.625 inches. And then the length of these are available in a variety of sizes, from about 7/8 of an inch to 2.5 inches long. And at the bottom of some of these, you might find a number that says TR something. So for example, this is TR 475. And you'd want to find the correct one for your application. And so when we look at these, because this is a spring-loaded pin, if you've ever aired up tires or a football, you know you have to press that down to get air in, or you press it down to let air out. You want to make sure, especially in the wintertime, when there's salt on the road and other gunk, that this is properly capped and sealed, so that salt and debris cannot get in there and actually damage your valve stem or your valve core. And to keep it all properly sealed up and maintained between when you check your tires for air. So now if we want to look at the inside of this and look at the actual Schrader valve itself, it is a replaceable part, but if you're going to replace this on an actual tire, you want to actually drop the air pressure first before doing what I'm about to do. If you want to be able to actually access the Schrader valve, one way to do it is to get these simple 4-way tools that look something like this. These are available for a couple bucks at most auto parts stores. And so on one end here, there's a bigger opening end that allows you to clean up any of these exterior threads for your cap. That can just screw on and off like that to make sure those threads are nice and clean. Now on this one, on the opposite side of it, is a tool that has, it looks like it has a little notch across it. And this is sized to go right across perfectly your valve core. And so then you can turn this around like this to remove your valve core. Give it a few turns. And then your valve core can come out just like that. You can see this is actually has a red seal on it. Sometimes they're also black. They're completely interchangeable. This is a standardized size. And so at the bottom of this valve core, and hopefully the focus will be right on camera here. This is a spring-loaded mechanism, and the top of that actually moves up and down as you push this in from what would be the outside of your tire to allow air to escape or to go in through the valve and then come out the other side. And so occasionally that spring may fail, or the seal may go bad over time, or it may vibrate loose, and you may want to make sure you have that tightened up. And that's one possible cause of a slow, leaky tire that you can't identify any other substantive leak issues coming from. And so we can replace that. Then on the inside of this, you take it out, you can see that you can actually see all the way through this. Then on this 4-way tool, you also have another end that you can use to go in to clean up the inside threads, just like this, to make sure those threads are nice and clean. Because in the grand scheme of things, it's easier to replace a valve core than replace a valve stem. These are really cheap because this does not include a tire pressure monitoring sensor on it, whereas some other ones might actually include a sensor built into it, and those can get pretty pricey. And then you've got another pointy end here you can use to be able to press it down and to make sure that everything is nice and clean coming out of that hole. And so then you can buy replacement valve stems or valve cores. You know, I just keep a few of these on hand in my garage here in case I need to replace them in my cars. You can get a set of 4 for maybe about $1.50 or so at most parts stores. I'll put a few links below to some of the parts I'm showing here on camera that you can look at on Amazon below. If you click those links, it helps to support this channel and keep more of these videos coming. And then what we can do with this is then we can actually put the core back in. I'm just going to reuse the same core here rather than using what I know is a good core. And I'm going to show you another thing, is that if you don't like that little 4-way tool that's dirt cheap, one of the things I prefer is I got this snap-on valve core tool, and this is just one end here. It doesn't have the thread cleaning tools. This makes it really easy whenever I'm changing or checking a valve core to make sure that the valve core is actually tight. looks like a screwdriver, a few turns, you can check it out really easily. So a tool like this is a Snap-on variant. This sells for about $17. They also make a special torque tool, because the torque setting on these is about 2 inch-pounds for how far you want that set. Lyle also sells one for about $15. That's like a built-in torque limiting screwdriver. I'll put a few links to that below. And so then after you replace your valve core, go ahead and air up your tire like you would all the way up to the full pressure, and then cap it back off and be on your way. Now, one other thing I think is useful just to add here right quick on these valve caps is just simple caps like this are all you need. If you look on Amazon or eBay, you can find some really gaudy valve caps. And it's important that when your tire was balanced when you bought it, that it was balanced with the appropriate valve cap on it that you're going to use. Because if you were to replace this with a really heavy aluminum valve cap, after it was balanced with a cap like this on it, your tire is not going to have the same balance that it originally had whenever you had your tires mounted and put on in the first place. Just a simple black plastic valve cap is all you need. They're really cheap. You can buy about 100 of those on eBay for next to nothing practically. And so I hope you found this video useful and interesting about the classic Schrader valve. Please click the like button, leave a comment below if you've got any questions, and I look forward to seeing you back here on a new video. Have a great day. Bye.